Good morning, everybody. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, just doing some final computer checks. I feel like the camera is a little turned, and I think I'm just going to have to deal with it. What do you think? Or does it bother you? You know, I'm that person in the yoga studio who has to line their mat up, to the grain of the wood, because I'm that person. Good morning. Let me know who all is here. I hope you're all having a lovely morning. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave it be. It's okay. I'm gonna leave it be, and I'm gonna learn to practice some acceptance and some santosha. How about that? Good morning. Is it Sheena? Good morning. All right. Good morning, Becky. Wonderful, wonderful. Love to see all these kind of early risers on a Saturday morning. All right. What's up, Miss Davina? Holla at me. Okay. Hey, let's all why don't we just start with a nice deep breath? This has been a heck of a week. So find a nice standing position and let's breathe in and breathe out. Any way that you want. Own you and your expression. Maybe one more. Breath in. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and you're here for our Yoga Basics Live on the Facebook Live and the YouTube Live on Saturday morning, July 11th. If you were joining last night, I had a late night, got to hang out with the Arts Council of Greater Lansing for their first Arts Night In. It's usually Arts Night Out, an outdoor event, spotlighting a local business that has something to do with artistic or creativity here in the Lansing area. And of course, due to the COVID and the pandemic, having outdoor events and big crowds of people is something that they wanted to step away from. But we did a nice creative glow and flow yoga. I got myself all gooped up. Let me tell you, cleaning that stuff off, I'm not doing that anymore, man. I still got some of it on me. But that's okay. Loved it. Loved having a good time playing with taking this show off-site, putting all the equipment together. You guys don't see all of the things that I have together. It kind of pulls together a former me as a multimedia journalist with my yogi me. So I've just got all the things in the stuff that you can't see. All right. Welcome. If you're new, follow along as best you can. I'm going to be offering modifications and variations for various things that might be going on. Let's say we've got something going on with our knees or our hips. All right. No matter what, I can't see you and I can't really have a good interchange. So if anything is uncomfortable, if anything doesn't feel quite right, stop, change something, or just skip it altogether. Send me a question. Maybe I can help you find some comfort, all right? But please take care of you. Yoga means to come together to create a connection, not to rip stuff apart. All right, so why don't we start? Imagine that my mat is this way, and we'll start standing. And let's just rock forward and back onto the tippy toes and back to the heels. Now try not to lock your knees, and we'll just start to build awareness of what's going on. What does locking my knees mean? Locking them backwards. So keep some softness and just allow the muscles around the bones to do their thing. Waking up the feet and the ankles. Sometimes it feels really good first thing in the morning, kind of letting the stiffness out of the feet. And then let's settle in. Maybe tilt the tailbone back and forth a bit, just to wake up the pelvis. Good. Now I'm going to invite us to bring our hands just to the thighs or the knees. I've separated my feet a little bit. Now maybe you're doing yoga with some family members, or if you're outside, play this one by ear, in other words. So we'll do the pelvic tilt back and forth, just working that low back, feeling a little bit of the low spine. Now, start to make a figure 8 with your hips. Whatever that looks like for you. Breathe. So that's why I said feel this out. Change direction of your 8. Notice what you notice in your legs and your hips. We're just working this pelvic bowl. And it has a huge range of movement, but our daily motions really limit our hips, and it creates a lack of mobility in a very mobile area of our bodies and very vital. Now, just breathe in and pull the chest up. Exhale, round the spine. A nice cat and cow in a relaxed manner. Breathe in. See if you can feel the throat. Tilt the tailbone back. Nothing to its extreme. Exhale, round the spine. Feel the muscles in your low back. What are we aware of in between the shoulders and at the neck? And roll the spine up, coming to standing. Let's reach upward. Now, I want to really demonstrate this reaching upward. Here's where a lot of us end up when we think of this and we start to embody. Can you see that where I just shrugged? I'll do it again. Shrugged the shoulders up by the ears. Can we keep the arms extended and pull those shoulders down? And then notice what we notice. Now, I have the benefit of having a camera and a screen that's looking at me, so I can see if my arms aren't straight. Are you aware? Don't feel like you have to have your hands together. You can keep those hands apart. Shoulders down. Front of the chest lifting up. Still trying not to lock the knees. Try to be aware, am I sucking in my tummy? And how about we not? Just feel yourselves extending, occupying your body, extending. And the body is also standing. Are you aware of pressing into the legs? Are you standing in your legs, or are you just kind of on them? Yoga builds that connection. Awareness is connection. Breath in, lift the rib cage. Try to identify that and do that. Can I do that? Exhale, forward fold. Lightly bend the knees. Upper body hanging. Notice the sensations you're feeling in your neck and shoulders. Notice your tummy, upper back. Okay, are we just standing on the legs, or are we standing in those legs? What are the toes doing? Ankles, shins, calves. Are they providing support, or are they just kind of standing there? And if you don't know what that means, maybe squeeze the muscles intentionally to try to build your awareness of what's going on in those leg muscles, and then let them go. It's always a nice tester to do that occasionally. Squeeze and let go, squeeze and let go. And notice what you feel. We'll roll the spine up. All right, so we've practiced a little bit of standing and building awareness, not just kind of standing there, right? So mountain is standing, holding our body erect, standing in it and extending. And we've bent forward, and that stretches the back of the body. All right, so as we're lifting up, let's see about stretching the front of the body, maybe sending the hips forward a bit. Remember about not bending the knees. There's a lot, if we're new to yoga, to build awareness and think about. Exhale, hinging at the hips, coming forward. Remember, those knees could be soft. This is about letting go. And that unto itself is a tough practice for many of us. All right, we could shift forward and back in those feet. I'm hoping that you can see this subtle. I'm trying to do it in a more exaggerated way. And then notice your low back. You can have your hands onto a block or a stool or a chair here if your hands don't come to the floor. Okay, so I know that sometimes when we look at pictures like this and we see other people doing things, and we go, oh, well, wait, I can't do yoga then because I'm not touching the floor. No, that's the range that's in my body. Maybe your body is here and you're holding onto a block or a stool. What are we noticing in our back? Upper part of the thigh versus the middle part of the back of the thigh versus the backs of the calves. And let's bend the knees, bring the hands to the knees, lift up in the chest one more time, and we'll curve the spine once again, cat and cow. Now, see if you can ask the muscles right here in the front of the belly, right in front of the pubis, to do the movement. Just identify, making that area work the back. Just try to bring your attention to the belly, squeeze it, see if you can activate those muscles, and it's okay if you can't. We're building those connections, and sometimes the wiring isn't even there because they've never talked to each other, right? If we think about the old tin can and a string, being able to talk to each other through the tin can and the string, and we call this area of our abdomen one tin can and our brain another tin can, maybe that part of the abdomen has never, ever, ever had a conversation. And that's okay. We're building it now. And sometimes that means a bad connection. And let's roll the spine up. All right, so practice bringing yourselves back upright into the mountain. Feeling the legs, lifting through the chest and the ribs, shoulders down, not sucking in the tummy. Feel a gentle lift upward through the back of the neck. What all is actually reaching upward? Build those connections once again. Now we'll bring weight into the left leg. And I'll just show it here, standing forward. Bring weight into the left leg. Both feet are still on the floor. Bring weight into the right leg. Now follow your awareness up and down the body as it becomes solid to hold that body weight. And we'll bring it over into the left. Still stay in the mountain. Still growing tall. Notice what we notice. I'm noticing a little bit of gripping going on in the low abs. I'm not saying that's where you should. I'm just sharing what I'm experiencing. And let's see if we can shift. Shoulders down, chest up. Feel one leg becoming more condensed and ready to hold us. The other leg, switching. One gets a little bit of time off. The other gets to engage. Where's your breath? Soften the neck. Now let's shift the weight into the left leg and ask the right leg to lift. What had to change in the upper body? Did something change? What are we aware of? Now you could just lift that foot an inch off the earth. All right, so if you already knocked yourselves over, let's go ahead and bring that foot down. Arrive on the earth. Woo, 2 feet on the floor, so happy. Come back to your mountain. Don't lose the yoga practice. And we can have humor, we can have smiling, and still stay in, oh, wait, let me do this thing. All right, now, did you lift that leg and just kind of go, ah? Were we rushing? Did we lift too fast, too hard? What were we aware of? Let's try it again on this other side. So we're going to bring the weight into the right leg. And maybe just lift the toe. Breath. Now are we super leaning to bring that leg up? Can we stay in the mountain? And only if you feel solid, maybe lift the knee more. Breath in. Now doing it to notice what's going on. Counterbalance. Counterbalance. Good. What's going on in the foot? Let's bring that down. All right, maybe lift the leg just an inch. We'll shift and lift. The belly has to contract a little bit, and we have to respect our boundaries and our limits. Bring that leg down. My dog is sneezing. I apologize. Shift and lift. Breath. And shift and lift. Are we leaning back? Woo! I went a little too far. I had rolled onto the side of that foot. So these aren't mistakes. This is just building awareness of standing erect on one leg. What does it take? It means that the one leg that's standing has to be more substantial. So maybe your mind is wondering, well, what kind of yoga poses is this? What is blah, blah, blah. We're building the root foundations for standing in mountain on one leg. That's all. And that's a lot. All right, I'm going to shift into the left and lift the right and breathe. And observe all of the wobbles and adjustments that are going on in that left foot. I'm going to ask myself, am I still standing in my mountain? So here I was collapsed, chilled. Now I'm going to stand. Oh, stand. That's what you mean, stand. Now I'm going to start to step the right foot back. Give yourself a break. Step it back. Take as much time as you need, okay? So I took a few steps back to not sacrifice my stability or my balance. Don't be in a rush, right? I'm going to turn sideways here, and I'm going to step that back. I could take one big, long step, or maybe I need to take a few steps, back foot flat, to feel solid and to feel in balance. Hands can come to the hips and the waist. Push down through the baby toe edge of that right foot. Yes, I think so. Right foot. Squeeze the muscles in that right thigh. Stand in it, like I said, not just kind of being standing on it. Be in it. Deliberate. That's a part of focus. Dharana, being deliberate. Grow tall through the back of your neck. Occupy your body. This is warrior one. Free your toes. Okay, we'll get accustomed to a phrase called ease and steadiness. Sthira sukha. Ease and steadiness in my toes, in the bones of my feet. Ease and steadiness in my heels. I'm not feeling a lot of ease and steadiness in the front of this thigh. It's really getting stretched. So I'm going to back off. I'm not going to try to lift so much. I'm not going to sink so low. Good. Now let's make it easy to come up. I'm going to bring the hands down, maybe to that block once again. Step the back leg up and roll the spine up. Coming back to the mountain deliberately. Shift that weight into the right leg. Choose how you want to step it back. What are you practicing? With ease and steadiness. Making a big long step or taking a few. Maybe stepping that foot a little wide to create a wider base. That's going to give us more stability. Be familiar with the soles of the feet and how they interact with the earth. Maybe working our hips. Notice how that feels in the hips. Maybe feels good if we've been doing a lot of sitting or being in the car a lot. I guess that's a lot of sitting. There's no standing cars, right? Find a space of ease. Feel what the feet are doing, the legs are doing, and then the upper body. Is it lifting or is it just dumping here? And then what does it feel like to be this actively engaged and aware of what the body is doing energetically, physically, alignment-wise? Notice how the mind has to put so much focus and attention on it. And I love to look at what my mind didn't get to spend time on, right? Any of the obsessive, repetitive thinking, worries that I let go on. When I come on the mat, I just laser in right here. Breath in, maybe lift, maybe not. Shoulders down, hands down. Step the back leg up. And let's roll the spine up. And let's see if we can put that all together. Standing erect, extending and rooting. Breath in. Maybe hips forward, stretching out the front of the body, the thighs, the belly, the chest. Exhale, coming forward, maybe bending those knees, maybe not. Stretching out the back of the body, backs of the legs, back of the spine. Rolling the spine up, bending the knees, hands to the knees, and then a few cat and cows, lubricating range of movement in the spine. Feeling what's different now. Is the body warmed up? And did that loosen something up that aches more? Or did that loosen something up that's starting to say, okay, I'm raring to go? We're all in a different space in our bodies. Good, keeping the knees bent. Free the hands to prayer at the chest. Weights in the heels, chair pose. Feeling the strength of our legs. Applying that lift to the chest. Easy breath. Remember, ease and steadiness. Coming up to standing. Bringing the weight over into the left leg. Lifting the right. Practice the erect stance. Feeling the core. Not practicing perfection, and we're stepping the leg back. Have humor. Love the wobbles. Let the wobbles be playful. That's our body navigating against gravity. That's some serious stuff. And we'll bend this knee, maybe work the hips, warrior one. Breath in, lift. Now this time, let's lengthen forward. Feel the strength of that front leg. Sweep the arms back. Extend, telescoping in the neck forward. Bringing our awareness into lengthening our upper body from the neck and feeling the strength of the legs to hold us there. What's the quality of our breath? Don't clench your jaw. Let's see if we can come back up. Feel, we got to push down with the legs to bring us up. Hands to prayer. Okay, I don't know if you remember the last time we were here, I had let us put our hands down to step up. I said that's one way. Let's practice now. Could we step up to mountain? Now, here's the key. Have fun with it. Try not to propulse yourself. Try not to shove off with that back leg, letting momentum be the only way that we get ourselves up. Can we stand in this leg and bring the other leg up? Laugh out loud. Remember what I said. Breathe. We learn about the amount of engagement that solid leg has to bring us up. That's all, and it's more to practice. Remember, tin can, string. All right, we're going to root into the right leg. Stand elevated, lifting tall in the body. Lifting that left leg, easy breezy or wobbly, but wobbly with easy breezy. And step it back. Take your time, feel your way. Feeling the hips, feeling how secure we feel on the earth. And then find your mountain. And then no matter what, like if you're not new to your warrior, if you're not new to your mountain, taking your practice to this fundamental level really helps us look at what's going on in our minds, how we can carry all of these actions and behaviors off the mat. We'll lengthen forward and reach back, holding ourselves stable when the world doesn't feel stable. Noticing whether we rush to just kind of get through something or get over something. And what do we not absorb or appreciate along the way? Oh, we can learn all of that just in how we step back, how we carry our breath, what we hold on to, what we don't want to let go of. Breathing in, coming back up. Don't be in a hurry. We're going to inspect, feel our way, learn. Hands to prayer. And then how do we get to our destination? Do we just kind of propulse and slam our way through? Or do we take the time and the care and the forgiveness of how we learn, knowing that there's a process? Breathing in, lifting up. Exhale, folding forward. Nice deep breath. All right, hands to the floor or a block. And I keep saying or a block, so I'm going to go ahead and grab one so I don't just keep playing around with this imaginary block. So here's a block. That's what I mean, a yoga block. I have a cork kind. There are foam ones that are squishier, harder to lean on, okay? So I want something stable. So if you got to pull a chair over, use a chair, even if it's higher. Who cares? It's about giving you something to lean your body weight on so you don't fall over. All right, so our hands are here. And I just want to use this for some support to be able to step back to a lunge. So I'm going to start with my right leg. And I'm going to step that back. Now, I've got to pull, so this might be harder for the chair thing, so I got to rethink that. But I'm going to pull that block back. Now, my knee is over this heel. Got the block for some support, and step that leg back a little bit more. Maybe, okay? Whatever's going on in the front of this thigh is what's going to dictate that length. So if something in your body said, yeah, don't listen to that little lady on the screen, then don't listen to the little lady on the screen. Pushing the heel back and bend. Pushing the heel back and bend. Feel your left leg, your right leg, your hips, your back. What's going on? What feels good? What are some edges we want to explore? All right, look at my back foot. I'm going to spin that flat into a right angle, right? Now go ahead and rest that left elbow on the left knee, hand to the hip, turning the chest. So I'm going to move this block now. Keeping this knee bent. Something could be talking, that's okay. Maybe straighten a little and bend. Maybe sink a little deeper. Straighten and bend. So we might be feeling that down in this groin area. And we'll bring the hands down back to the block. I'm going to the floor here, spinning onto the toes. Now remember what I said about don't use momentum to bring that leg up. It's going to be a little harder here from this deep of a lunge. I'm going to shift the weight, maybe bring the foot up, and then step the foot up. Ooh, let's just ragdoll hang out. Just in case that made us hold our breath. And when we're ready, we'll get ready to step back to the other side. So we're varying the amount of length that we're experiencing, the length of the stride in our hips and our thighs and our legs. And there are attachments in our back. So we get all of this wonderful benefit of lengthening, stretching the flesh even around our organs, pushing that heel back and bending. If you need to take a break, just put the knee down, pushing that heel back and bending. Ooh, pushing that heel back. Breathe into the low belly, into the pelvic floor. And bend and straighten. All right, we're going to come up. I'm going to bring the foot up just a hair. And now I'm going to stand in the right leg, lifting the left leg and bringing it up slowly and mindfully. And roll the spine up. Oh, I lied. We're going to take ourselves back. We didn't do our side angle on that side. So I'm going to use that to turn. Let's breathe in and take it forward. I didn't lie. I just forgot. We're going to step the left leg back. Make your way. Don't be in a rush. Said that more for me than for you because I notice, if I feel like, I messed up, I feel like I got to hurry up. As though hurrying up makes it not have happened. That's so silly. Let's spin the back foot flat. And then remember, we're going to bring that elbow to the knee. Work out your balance. Don't be in a rush. Then that left hand can come to the hip. And then we'll see about turning that chest open. And you could thrust the hips toward the camera. Breath. Hear the sounds in the room. Build presence of awareness. Smell, see, taste. Maybe straighten a little and bend. Try to have that elbow kind of mid-thigh so that you're not applying any pressure on the knee joint. Be in both legs. It's real easy to be in the bent leg. What's that back leg doing? Hello, got two legs on the floor. I hope that leg's helping. All right, we're going to straighten that leg and come upright. Since we already stepped up already on that side, so see, I use my mess up for my advantage. And we'll spin the toes forward. Nice wide-legged stance. Remember what I said about locking? Here, I've locked it back. Bend the knees a little. Let's just feel the hips side to side. So you'll notice I talk about the hips a lot, right? These hips, they're a complex joint. It's the biggest joint in the body. It greatly contributes to our circulatory system, greatly contributes to our ability to eliminate, and I'm pro-elimination. All right, so this is a key area, and for those of us whose bodies were made for birthing, we need a huge range of movement and strength and pliability in this area. Bend the knees, hips forward, chest up, and come forward. Once again, if you need your block down here or your chair down here, go ahead and let your arms rest on it. Support yourself. And with that support, whether your arms are on the floor or on a block, see if you can let the upper body go. Breathing, releasing. Now maybe just shift left and right. So we're just bending one knee and straightening the other. Encouraging a fluidity of movement. Let go. Notice how your physical body houses our emotional states. Proof positive that we are complex and subtle energy beings that are interconnected. So let's go ahead and bring the hands to the block or the floor. Walk them out in front of us a little bit to a nice flat spine. Torso, your chest and belly are parallel with the floor. Bringing that left hand beneath the face, twisting the chest open. Now, are you dumping all of your weight into the left shoulder, into that elbow? Can you imagine that arm is a straw and you try to suck energy up through the arm instead of driving like a divot down? What's going on in the belly and the chest as you breathe? What are your legs doing? And I only ping those questions just for us to scan awareness, especially if when you hear it, you go, oh, what? My legs? Oh, what? My belly? And we'll switch it out. Take your time. Build that awareness. Get a string and attach it to a tin can and we'll start a conversation. We'll start to twist. Send that line to the belly and say, hello, I'm talking to you. Are you twisting? Can you feel it? Do you like it? Hips, hello, I'm talking to you. Are you twisting? Can you feel it? Do you like it? Do I feel free or do I feel tense? Everything is an inquiry. Checking in on what is going on, what is true. How much weight are you pressing in that right arm? Are you imposing a desire or an expectation on that arm? Or are we accepting what is going on? Both hands down if you're ready. And let's make our way down, coming to our knees. So everything we've done so far have been standing poses. Good morning, Gaia. Now we're going to just work on some fundamentals of knees. Now, if you have some knee issues, this might not be comfortable, or you could get a blanket and put some blankets under the knees. If you can't put any pressure on the knees, we're only going to do one. We're going to be sitting on our butts in a moment. So go ahead and find butt sitting and we'll be right there, because there's nothing, right? If we have cartilage that's missing here, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing magical that's going to be like, here's how you can endure putting pressure on your knees. Nope. And that's not yoga. So let's deal with the limitations that we have and practice santosha, contentment. If you can put pressure on your knees, go ahead and put a blanket or something under the knees if that would be more comfortable. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see, because we have options. Love options. We can tuck the toes and create a space of I want to be aware of stretching those toes. Notice if your mind goes, why should I do X or Y? And I like to get out of being some sort of like physical therapist about yoga and more of an awareness builder about yoga. And so I say, why not? They're attached to your body. Have you ever lived in them? Do you know what your third toe can do? That's what yoga helps us build. I'm being a little trite, but at the same time, not. All right. So if you want, you could be there, or you could untuck and feel the top of the foot stretching. And depending on what's going on with your feet, it might be something you want to be exploring. It could be different each day. Now, I'm going to show where most of us are. Okay, I'm going to lift my arm so you can see the profile of my butt and my thighs. You see that angle backwards. I want to try to see if I can come upright, having my hips over the knees. You're probably already either feeling something in the back or something in the hips, tummy, or thighs, right? Because it's a little bit of a stretch. You might even think that you're back bending, but if you notice where I am, I'm not back bending, but I am feeling some of that lengthening going on here. That lets us know how often our body is used to being in this shape. And what's this shape? This is the sit on my butt shape. All right, so here we are. Got about a fist width of distance in between my inner thighs. And now I'm going to give the back some support and have those hips over the knees, and that's all. Remember what we did while we were standing, practicing lifting the upper body without sucking the tummy in. Apply that upward lift. Now, you could also press down a little bit toward the tailbone. Ooh, and feel that on the low back vertebra. Let the tummy expand with breath. Don't be afraid of letting this tummy balloon out. Makes us aware of how much we're retaining and clenching. Starts to make us aware of what we're self-conscious about. Yoga makes us not be able to hide from any of our body image issues, our self-image issues, old fibs and impositions others have put upon us. And that's all right? And already you might have felt like it was a bit of a strain or a bit of a stretch. Maybe you were combating a desire to go back further. I don't like people to go back further until we can find this here with ease and steadiness. Start and build. Don't want to get to the end of the race without having run the race. All right, let's come on down to our butts and join the butt sitting people. Hey, butt sitting people, how you doing? All right. And we're going to clear some fleshy bits out from underneath of us. What does that mean? Grab some of your own fleshy mass and pull it so that you can, when you rock your weight onto it, you can feel the bone under that butt cheek. And then the same here. All right. Now, you could say, well, why am I doing that? All right. I would really like to feel the contact of the bone for us to have a pressure point for sitting upright. It's also really nice to start to encourage self-touch and maybe start to change that inner conversation, because it might be a part of the body that we haven't touched in a while, or maybe we haven't touched it in that way. Think about it. How often do I touch my own right butt cheek? You don't have to answer me. That's just your own. And then that's why not? Are there ways in which it's acceptable for us to actually touch? And why? This is our bodies. This is your house. Why shouldn't we give it love and care and attention? And our yoga with deliberate touch helps us build that connection of awareness of, ooh, do I have an aversion to touching a certain area of my body? Are there only a certain way that I can touch my kneecap? Ooh, could I give some sensual loving touch to my kneecap? Why not? Does that feel like a silly notion? All right, I digress. Feel all of the bony points down, pressing the backs of the legs down. I'm going to turn sideways because readjust, squeezing the thighs. So it's about engagement or non-engagement. So here's me not engaged. Here, I've got to let the feet go. Yep. Kind of literally my body is in the same shape, but there's no activity in it, right? I've just got dumpy flesh dumping around bones. So now I'm going to say, hey, flesh, let's not dump. I'm going to push the legs down deliberately. I can feel my butt squeezing as I push the backs of the legs down. I'm going to ask my belly and my back muscles to stand my chest up and hold my upper chest up, chin down, back of the neck, lifting. And this is called Dandasana or staff pose, or the basic and root foundation of yoga sitting postures. So squeezing these thighs, you might after a while start to feel like, oh man, that's some work. I want to let it go. Okay, you let it go. Pick it back up. Keep the ease and steadiness. And I feel like a caution for me when I start to try to teach some of the elements of building engagement and building the awareness of that engagement is that it creates a rigidity. And people go, okay, I'm just going to do the thing. And we lose the ease and steadiness because there's a ton of forgiveness that comes with practicing or playing yoga. We're not trying to perfect anything. This is just, in this moment, this is the level of engagement and effort my body could give me, with ease and steadiness for that moment. Okay, reset. and give appreciation for how mindful action, deliberate action, takes work and effort. All right, apply, and let's see about a twist. Now, when I brought this hand back behind me, here's where I didn't take it, right? I'm not chilling back here. So I want to bring this hand here. Some of you might want to use a block again. About keeping the spine in that nice engaged upright space, legs pressing down, moving from the midsection. Ooh, breath. So I'm using this hand to help me stay upright. And twist, shoulders down, back of the neck lifting, belly free. Use the legs and feel the leverage that squeezing those legs gives us for pliability. Oh, there was my mid-back. Gave a little movement of some vertebrae. And let's release. I'm going to separate my legs a little bit. That's a lot more forgiving on the backs of the hamstrings. Some of you, if lying like this and pushing pressure back on the knees is too much, you could roll up a blanket or grab a pillow or something, and you can have it under the knees so that, we are going to fold forward, so that when you're folding forward, that's not applying too much of that backward pressure on the knees. So that's a suggestion. Some of you might be able to keep the knees soft. Staying with the fundamentals, all we're doing is lengthening the back body. We did it standing. Same posture, different orientation to gravity. So I'm going to come forward. I'm going to go ahead and keep my knees bent. Legs wide. Let the head go. And feel what's different here than when we're standing. And what's familiar. You could give yourself some of that loving touch. You never need permission to express love and kindness and gratitude to this body that's carrying our spirit around. And roll the spine up. And then I'm going to get ready for that twist on the other side. So I'm going to bring the legs in a little bit closer. Recheck in because flesh moves around. So I got to give it a little bit more help. Finding that upright Dandasana. Staff. As strong and solid as a staff, a rod. Yeah, we're not back in shepherd days, so we don't all have staff. We're thinking about that as like a staff of a team of workplace co-workers. Lift through the front of the ribs. Don't suck in the tummy. Squeeze the thighs and lift the upper body. Shoulders down. We'll find the other side. So I'm not going to use the block this time, but if you feel like you need to super duper lean, the block is great because you can keep it close to the hip and you can have your hand on it and use that for the leverage to sit upright. Still trying to keep my body in this L shape, twisting from the low back and the waist and revolve. Use the exhales. The exhales give us space because we compress and squeeze out that inflated abdomen. We can't twist from a space of fullness, which reminds me, try not to do your yoga practice on a full tummy. I just usually have a cup of coffee or tea and water before any practice. I'll eat after practices, and I don't actually eat immediately after that, or it can be a piece of fruit. Shoulders down, chest up. We're activating and moving so much of our innards that it's good to give our innards a break, honoring and respecting the process that it has to go through to process all of that food, to create it and morph it into energy for ourselves, conversion. All right, we're going to come forward. Now I'm going to have my legs a little closer together. So if you want to be active in this, squeeze the thighs, flex the toes. By all means, if you need that pillow under the knees again, get yourself ready for your posture. But I'm building it another way for others who might want to feel a new way and growing into it, especially if they found some ease. Lifting the chest, legs straight, pull chin and chest forward. So I'm going to exaggerate something here, trying not to hump or round the back. Drawing the chest up and forward in as much of a flat line. Keep flexing the toes to your face. Yes, I know. There's conversation going on back here. Okay, a new line just went from a tin can to a tin can. And as your brain is receiving the scream, how do you ease around it? As you draw the chest forward, shoulders back. Ooh, for me, I'm feeling that in my low back. I tilt the tailbone back. That helps a little. Keeping the chin tucked and accepting that this is my awareness, my vibrancy, my living my life in this second, in this moment as the earth spins. With this level of engagement in my bones, in my flesh, this is how I'm wearing my earth suit. This is how my spirit is occupying this flesh. Letting my flesh reflect my spirit and letting my spirit respect the limitations of this flesh. And roll the spine up. All right, I'm going to ask us to turn, and you might need to adjust your camera. Depends how you guys are piping this in. I know some of you guys, I have not, if Claudia's here, I haven't caught up to the piping it through my smart TV yet, and I'm feeling a little behind on that. Like, I should be able to pipe my own YouTube, my own Facebook into the TV. If Claudia can, I gotta let go of jealousy. Woo! All right, legs wide. So go ahead and position yourself so you can see. So we've done wide-legged, we've done sitting and the root fundamentals of sitting. Feel your sit bone, maybe clear. Giving some touch, some awareness. It stimulates the sense of touch, the sensory awareness of touch. Skin, a beautiful organ that deserves our attention. Something bit me, sorry. Flex the toes, chest lifting, shoulders down. Pushing the backs of the legs. Ask yourself, what is going on? What is my body executing right now? And then I'll invite us to bring this right arm maybe to the shin, maybe above the knee, okay? So don't overstress. I want to use my torso as a guide, and so I'm going to keep that upright. So here, I've gone out of alignment. So I overstretched it. I was reaching. Now this is acceptance and extension. Let's do that on the other side, finding that extension. I wanted to creep there. Ooh, but I can actually feel a little bit of a stretch on my armpits. How about both? Flex the toes, point, flex, point. Ooh, flex. Good. Tilt the tailbone back. Lift through the low belly, chin down. Pull chin and chest forward. Round that spine up. And forward. Don't worry about how far you go. And water. And forward. If this is a new shape and form and movement for you, why would you judge how far the body goes? Breath. Oh, hey, Bess. And I do see that Claudia's here. All right. Work the ribs any way that you like. Maybe twisting and feeling that difference. By having our legs wide, we can access moving this part of the spine more. So for those of us who have more flesh on our bodies, and we find that twists with a leg bent up against the body, right? We're saying, well, I can't move, or I really don't like it. Well, of course not, because it is smushy. So try to find your twists in the body space that's more open. And then you can actually twist what wants to twist. Spine lifting. Ooh, there. Did y'all hear that? All right, I'm going to release. Okay, so we've done a couple of sittings. We've had legs wide. I'm going to have us encourage us to come down to lying down on our back for reclinings. But I want to come into movement that takes us this way. So I'd like to generally offer, slow it down. I like to generally offer balanced ways of moving on our mat. All right. So if I did a standing extension backwards, I want to fold forward. So, right. If you back bend, you want to fold forward. If I've spent time open or abducted, then I would like to have the cross or adduction, 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 finding both to bring balance with the movement in our bodies. All right, so did a lot of yoga yesterday, y'all. All right, I'm going to place yourselves down. Don't be in a hurry, even if you're like, oh my God, please. Still place yourselves down with care. Feel vertebra by vertebra touching the earth, placing ourselves down as though you were placing an infant down on the mat. And take a moment and just enjoy this new perspective, this new relationship to gravity. My low back is really grateful. Backs of my shoulders are really grateful. Now, see if you can walk the feet in a bit as though we're going to do bridge, but we're not. Knees together, so inner thighs touching, and feet a little wide. Try to soften and relax your low back. Now, if you have prodigious booty or backside, maybe lift the butt, pull the butt, tuck it under a little, pull that flesh downward, and then lay your low back onto the floor. And then just notice what you notice, all right? Because that booty and that amount of prodigious gluteus maximus may actually be preventing our back from getting the lengthening that this can provide, all right? So again, then we get back into touch and feeling, and would we not have wanted to move and touch our own flesh? All right, now I'm going to do a few pelvic tilts, which is probably going to be hard to see. Tailbone under, pressing the low back into the floor, and then scoop the tailbone backward. Maybe you feel your low back arching off the floor. And notice direction, what feels good, what feels twingy, back off of the twingy. Now, when we scoop the tailbone under, pushing the low back toward the floor, pull the navel toward the floor. Don't suck it in, but as though you're trying to compress your navel into the floor and feel your abs engage. And we'll do that back and forth a few times. Inner thighs together. That's that adduction. Good. Now we'll keep the feet where they are, both feet wide, knees touching. Now the knees have to stop touching. We're going to drop both knees over to the right. Ooh. And up and over to the left. Now, you might want to bring a pillow under these knees if you have some knee issues or some ligament damage. So you might not want to be forcing them into this angle. So you can do this really subtly, or you can do this, in big sweeping movements. But the more we're sweeping into it, the more that we're actually putting some strain and some pressure on the side ligaments, on the inside and outside of that knee. So listen to yourselves. Maybe put a pillow down. Ask yourselves why you might resist that notion if you're feeling resistance. Does it feel like you're babyifying your practice? We're not babyifying it. We're meeting ourselves where we are with love and kindness. Now, if there's no issue with your knees and you want to explore how far down both knees can go, and then follow your awareness of sensation up the thigh, up the hip, round into the back. Appreciate that the low back is connected to the knee. Appreciate that the side of the thigh is connected to the back and the belly. Rest the shoulders. There's no need for any strain in the upper body, unless any strain from the lower bodies got sent upward. And just hold here. Relax the groin. Let go of forcing the body to be anywhere. It's another beautiful way of countering a lot of sitting, because it starts to stretch the front of the rib cage, the side of the waist, the psoas. It attaches on the inside of the rib cage at the mid back, and it follows and courses through the top of that thigh. And let's gradually make our way over to the other side. So for some of you who may have only met me in this online world, the people who are here who have met me in the real life world, they already know this. I don't care about time. It could get me in trouble. So if you need to go somewhere, go ahead. My feelings aren't hurt. But if you feel like, oh, it should be wrapping up, I try not to let that put pressure on me, because if we are where we are, I want to honor where the body is and play with the practice and be with the practice. Time and the clock are not the boss of me. I'm okay with that. But I also want to respect your time. So that's my way of saying, if you need to go, go. And we'll come all the way back up without using your arms. So reclining poses can really also help us find some access into some core spaces with less strain on the back. Without using the arms, pull one knee to the chest. Bring that foot down. Lift the other knee to the chest. Let's keep doing that. And the next time you do, press your spine to the floor as you do it. And you'll notice, oh, my core has to do some stuff. Switching back and forth, pulling the knee to the chest as you press as much of your spine, shoulder blades, back of the head, neck, low back into the floor. Breath. Let's explore this and see how much we can do this and have that ease and steadiness. In body, in breath, in mind. What areas of the body are trying to overwork and control? And you can say, I see you, grasshopper. Now stop. I got this. Stop. There's nothing to compete with. All right, let's see about both. Ready? When you're ready, push the spine into the floor, both knees together, knees to the belly, and bring the feet down. Keep the feet down. Separate the feet a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart. Look straight up to the ceiling. Protect your neck. Push down through the feet. Lift the hips. Tummy ballooning. Let the backs of your shoulders take some weight, not your neck, backs of the shoulders. And lower the hips down. We're going to draw the knees to the chest again. Ready? Press the spine to the floor, knees together, pulling them into the belly. And feet down. Bottoms of the feet together, knees open. Maybe your eyes are closed. Maybe your arms are spread open. Perhaps you would like to have your hands touching your tummy. What are you practicing here? In body, in breath, in mind. We'll bring the inner thighs together. Feet on the floor. Separate the feet a few inches apart, knees a few inches apart. We're going to go to that bridge again. This time, if you would like to keep your arms down alongside your waist, go ahead. Gaze up. Now, you don't have to do that with the arms. If you like them out to the side or overhead, great. But I am going to give cueing for those who are keeping their arms down alongside the waist. So if that isn't you, ignore the cueing. Gaze up to the ceiling. Maybe lift the chin a little. Press down through the feet solid, lifting the hips, lift the chin a little so that the back of the neck isn't pressing into the floor. Now try not to squeeze your butt. It might be a constant struggle. Your butt may be hanging up that phone saying, I don't want to have this conversation. Tummy is breathing. Now, some of you might shimmy the hands a little closer together under you. Shoulder blades a little closer. You might be able to bring the hands together to clasp. And maybe not. Don't make that a goal. If it happens easily, great. Come back to trying not to squeeze the butt. Let the belly lift. Soften your shoulders. Practice acceptance, non-gripping. Quiet your mind, relax your jaw. Let go when you're ready. Don't just let go because it was cute. Let go when you're ready. We'll lower the spine down. Lengthen one leg out to the front of the mat. Place it down with ease, with care, tenderness. Lengthen the other leg softly, long. Place it down gently. Adjust your shoulders for comfort. Your head for comfort. Now leave everything be. Observe any urge to untuck a piece of clothing, to twitch, to jiggle. Observe that urge, but try not to react to the urge. I feel a little tickle of a hair in my left nostril, and I so want to rub my nose. But I'm just going to occupy my body with my awareness and with my breath. And accept that this is me in my body. Observing a tickle. Not reacting. What is going on in the backs of your legs? Is the pressure even or uneven? And what are you observing about that? Don't change it. Live in it. Soften around it. Just be. Acceptance. Don't tune out. Tune in. Maybe stretch or yawn. Let no action or movement be aggressive or sudden. Treat your body the way you want to be treated. Let it be an act of your love and your kindness towards yourself. And we'll gradually maybe roll over to one side in a fetal position. However you want to come up. We can work on more deliberate ways of coming up. Right now, just let it be kind. Let it be patient. Oh, hey, I didn't do too badly on time. Ha ha. How is everyone? Feel your head now above your heart. Notice how that feels. Like a brightness coming into the visual field. Okay. So, sitting. We did Dandasana. Many of us can be sitting in crisscross applesauce. Please don't feel like that's any sort of mandatory yoga rules. But it does open the hips. It's often referred to as an easy pose or easy sitting. Okay, it's a kind of a natural space for humans. Um, if that isn't comfortable, you could always have blocks to give support, because you might be like, yeah, but my knees don't go all the way here. My hips don't, blah, blah, blah. Mine looks like this. Great. Love it. Touch it. Say, I love you. Cool. You could also give your hips some support, because maybe that groin is like, I don't want to. Right? And we're not here to force anything. If you want to explore Sukhasana, shin in front of shin, that starts to open the hips a little bit more. Again, contraindications on the knees and the hip joints, all right? So don't look at any space as a should. And then I'm guilty often of not switching nearly enough myself. And already my legs are like, man, I don't like it, because I changed it up, right? Chest is lifting. Apply that energy that we've been practicing of that upward lift. Not letting the weight of the world bear us down, carrying ourselves, paying attention to our carriage and our countenance. Relax the belly. We'll practice a few abdominal breaths before we close. Bringing in mindful breath, pranayama. Belly balloons out, relaxing the diaphragm with breath. Feel your guts. Untense around them. Don't contain them. You live in the container, but we're not practicing containing ourselves. We're setting ourselves free. And confront and observe all of the mental chatter around relaxing that tummy, around feeling the flesh of our tummy, around the contents of our organs, around feeling the roundness around our waist and midline. Create that conversation. Am I sending love there? Do I love this breath process that expands my abdomen? Do I want to draw in that next breath? Do I refrain from my fullest breath because of some negative body image? Can I want the breath more than I care about anyone's perception of my body? Can I let the act of breathing be an act of love for my body? This body that is carrying my spirit. And hands to the heart center. This is the Anjali Mudra. Mudras are yoga postures for the hands, helping us remind ourselves of an intention. Anjali, holding our heart in our hands. All of the love and kindness that's in me recognizes the same love and light that is existing in you. When you're in your love and light and I'm in my love and light, we are one. That's namaste. Namaste. Thank you all so very, very much for joining. It's such an honor and a pleasure to get to have a virtual gathering. I hope that you're all caring for your hearts, caring for your community and your loved ones in all of the scary uncertainties, and give it heaping doses of forgiveness. Special loving kindness and desire for holding of community and love for a dear sister in our very community who's been a supporter and a student in our community for at least 10 years. who's recently lost her mother and has several other family members suffering with this disease of coronavirus. Please know that there are really smaller and smaller degrees of separation between us. So have some compassion and loving kindness when we see numbers that are really lives. Oh, last thing I wanted to share. I've been talking about spirit and body, body and spirit. BKS Iyengar, who created Iyengar Yoga, said, and you can find this in Light on Yoga, his book, Light on Yoga, but he said that the practice of yoga asana makes our bodies fit vessels for our spirit. So if this is the house for my spirit, how do I want this house to fit me? What kind of spirit do I have? I got a little bit of some spicy, playful spirit. So I want my body to be able to respond to the spicy, playful spirit that's inside of me. And I love kind of looking at it that way as why I practice the yoga, to prepare this body to be the container that my spirit requires so that my spirit can shine and beam the way it wants to and the way it needs to carry out its mission in life. So there we go. Last bit of a little bit of yoga dropping. I don't like that yoga dropping. How I drop the yoga. How about that? If you're just sticking around, log back in a moment. I'm going to be ready for Empower Yoga at 11:30. Thank you all. Namaste.